our friends would turn around and go, wow, you guys really have a plan. You know exactly what you're doing. The way he spoke and the questions that he asked, he got everything he needed out of us. And he could articulate it where all these other financial groups couldn't.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Great job.
Yeah. We started our investment journey almost 20 years ago now.
20 years.
Almost 20 years ago. It's a funny story. We had a cold call from some overseas call center who was telling us all about the benefits, and then the catch line came. We're in the position to say, okay, we wanted to buy something. We just didn't know what, didn't know how to go about it, and and it all sounded positive. So we basically signed on the dotted line, and as you would appreciate, and most people would appreciate that do that, they realised that they overpaid, right, for the property and whatever else the case is. And that's when we started our journey.
We have reached our stage, I guess, in life that we know we've worked very hard in life, and I guess our, not an end game, but where we want to be is not in Melbourne anymore. Unfortunately, we want to migrate across to Queensland. So this is where we needed a team to say, okay, how are we going to get from all our assets that we've got and our dreams and our wants to, how are we going to get across to Queensland, and that's where Empower Wealth came in. And again, the team have been wonderful.
Yeah, they were.
They put everything down in paper.
They ticked the boxes. We knew what we wanted, but we had no idea on how to achieve it, because we'd been involved in other accounting groups, and we sort of said, look, this is what we want, and they sort of said, yeah, we can do it, but you could sense the hesitation. And then Helen sort of said, hey, why don't we give Empowered Wealth a call or an email and see what they can do and see how they come across. And he responded to the email, and he said, look, let's have a couple of meetings, a couple of chats. Let's talk about what you want, and we'll see if we can organise a way of you getting what you want. And yeah, he really did.
Yes.
Really did.
We, in the past, have engaged other business or other companies really, but we weren't happy with the service.
We said take into account everything that we have, and we want 3 different plans that ultimately allows us to achieve our goal, and that was to relocate up to Northern Australia, and how we can achieve it. And then he said, okay, I'm going to go away and I'm going to come back and I'm going to present you your 3 scenarios and with timelines and everything else. When we got the final proposal, he sat with us for, I think it was probably on a couple of hours, and just literally went step by step, and there was even offerings of what to do with the money when you sell the money, rather than just put it in the bank. There was options of putting it into shares or whatever the case is, so we live off of that. And when we got the final product, it was like, wow, okay, that's very detailed plan, which is what we wanted. We got exactly what we asked for. Yeah, so we put that plan into play as soon as we got it, we knew what option we were going to take. So now it's a matter of waiting for that property to settle, and then once we've got a figure, Helen can then start ticking on stars on realestate.com. She can actually go, I'm going to get in contact with that, and we might fly up and go and have a look or something to that effect. We would absolutely recommend Empowered Wealth to.
Actually, it's not. We already have. It's not a matter of.
We already have.
Would we? We already have.
And it was fantastic. The first time I've ever seen a plan like that, it's spectacular. It tells me when I need to sell things. It was very well documented, articulated, and to the point. When we start talking about it with friends, they say, oh, who did that for you and how did you find them? And we said, well, we had Empowered Wealth show us how to do it. If you're going to go and speak to him, just know what you want and he'll help you get it.
Yeah.